Hey, how's it going? I just got an HD camera. It shoots in, I think, 720p. It looks pretty good. So now you can see all the zits and pimples on my face in HD. So anyway, I read this really interesting article the other day that basically, it showed the IQ of every generation, like the Y generation, the X generation, the millennials. And basically what it said was every generation, on average, increases in IQ. Now, this is obvious based upon better education, people know more. But there's been a swift increase in IQ of the millennial generation, the most recent, the one that I'm a part of. And the reason this is because of the internet. The internet has really revolutionized our society. Now we now have access to information on the go. If you need to know something, you can just pull out your iPhone and look on Google, and you can figure out the answer to it. Which as opposed to before, you got your information from basically school and the people around you. Not very accurate sources of information, in my opinion. Because obviously anybody can believe anything or say anything. But the thing about the internet is that when falsehoods are told, people usually correct them on the internet. Obviously, the internet has been a big there's been a big explosion in atheism since the internet has been around. Basically, because all the bullshit that has been propagated has been called out, and I remember when I was a Christian, about 2 to 3 years ago, or about like 3 years ago. I grew up in a very Christian and religious household. I'm actually in it right now. But yeah, I grew up in a very religious household. My dad used to read the Bible to us every single night. Religion was very important to my family. I have a very conservative religious family. So one of the reasons that I wasn't able to become an atheist at that point is because a lot of the bullshit that Christians tell, I basically just I didn't have the knowledge necessary to become an atheist. There's just certain things I never thought of, like like Pascal's wager, a lot of the evidence and science. It just was never presented to me. If it's never presented to you, then you never. A lot of people just never think about it, which is understandable. But once I started getting more involved in the internet, after a while, my curiosity kind of drove me, and I figured out a lot of the answers to these arguments that these Christians propagate. And a lot of them can be very easily refuted. And because of this, I kind of had a slow transition from atheism, or from Christianity to atheism. It wasn't like I just became an atheist overnight. As time moved forward, my mind slowly changed. Obviously, indoctrination takes a long time to kind of undo. But because people like me are cropping up all over the United States, there is a slow transition to a more secular, knowledgeable, and logical country. People that at least value skepticism makes our country just more scientific as a whole. We're kind of moving from a more religious country to a scientific and secular country, which as a result will probably have a lot of benefits as time moves forward. Obviously, hopefully we'll have smarter political policy. Obviously that's not the case right now. And then hopefully as time moves forward, we'll become far more scientific. And once that takes place, we can only imagine what kind of society we're going to have. Curing all these diseases. We'll probably have a lot of great new technology. I bet video games are probably going to be realistic. I think Apple, I forget who it was, but I think Apple said that by 2030 we should have robots that will work in your home. So this is fantastic. Who wouldn't want this scientific innovation? Just think about 50 years ago, people back then couldn't even imagine the type of technology we have right now. Of course, a lot of people thought that we'd have hoverboards and flying cars by now, but based on how expensive those are, those just aren't practical at the moment. So another thing I want to talk about is YouTube. One of the things that kind of drove me to like start making YouTube videos on YouTube is this big scientific debate that's taking place on YouTube. I'm more interested in like the intellectual side of YouTube and the arguments presented, and obviously like the atheist community. That's kind of what I'm part of. And I want people to get on YouTube and present their ideas about how to better the world and how to improve the world. I guess for me personally, like I've always been kind of an optimist, you know, and there was a saying that was said once that says, the world of success belongs to the optimist. And not to say that I'm this like amazingly successful person. Obviously, you know, I'm just an average Joe, but my optimism was what drove me to YouTube to present my ideas. I want people to respond to me and tell me if my ideas are bunk or if they're good ideas, you know? Because if you look at the scientific method, one of the main parts of the scientific method is to be reviewed by your peers. And the reason like we've kind of moved towards atheism is because these shitty ideas that Christians have propagated are being reviewed by peers and it's spreading. So the shitty ideas are being thrown out the door and the good ideas are moving forward because they're being picked apart. And you know, obviously there's a lot of Christians on the internet still, but I think as time moves forward, a lot of those shitty Christian arguments are going to be picked apart. There's going to be very few people that believe in them. So on this YouTube channel, I've always been someone who's very interested in science. Obviously, in high school, I feel like I failed science. I didn't like high school at all, to be honest. I was very socially awkward, and it's not that I never liked education. It's just I didn't like just didn't really like the people there, I guess, you know, like, obviously, you know, I'm kind of an awkward guy, so, but, you know, I've always loved science, and I want to be more involved in the scientific community. I want to have a debate. I want to talk to people, and I want to present some of my scientific ideas and some of my ideas just in general on this channel. And I want people to, I want to start like a debate about this. So, yeah. So in the future, I will start posting more like scientific videos and stuff like that. Hopefully, you like my content, and yeah, peace out.